like a malformed piece of dough. But it all comes to a culmination when Grug and Ryan Reynolds are trapped in the tar pits. And we learn a little backstory that Ryan Reynolds' entire family died in a tar pit. Because he says, like, no one ever escapes. Believe me, I know. And then even if you couldn't clue in on that, he says, my family. Just to really nail home the point. And then they decide to do some puppetry to free themselves like they did in the past, and they will again. And they do eventually escape. They get to the edge of the promised land. I don't know what's so appealing about it. It's a big sun and a bunch of clouds covering up all of the land. Seems like kind of an annoyance that there's fog everywhere and you can't see properly. But whatever. Maybe to a caveman, that's something special. But then something happens. There are a bunch of eruptions, and the land starts to split between where they are and where the tomorrow area is. And gross, disgusting Eep says, oh no, we'll never make it across. But then Grug is all like, oh yeah? I bet you we can. And he starts throwing them across so that they'll be able to reach it. And then Eep realizes, oh wait, my dad can't throw himself across because that defies physics. How is he going to get over? And he doesn't. He says a tearful goodbye to all of his family, his once confrontational person, the Ryan Reynolds character. He says, like, you know, I forgive you for doing nothing wrong, and I want you to lead my family to safety. And it's kind of sweet. You think that Grug is going to die because he goes into another cave and starts painting his family and Ryan Reynolds and all that stuff, and you think that he's going to die. And that probably would be the best ending if Grug didn't make it, but he helped his family. And he realized that while his ideals about staying put and surviving are not as good as ideas and living, then he would accept that he can save his family, but he can't save himself. But it's a kids' movie, and the only deaths that can happen, of course, are off-screen or in the past. Unless, of course, talking about Tarzan, because like a ton of people died in that one. They even showed the silhouette of a hanging man. That was a rough movie. I don't know why that got made for kids. But, of course, he survives. He manages to build a contraption where a bunch of flying creatures and him and a giant tiger and two weird dog creatures and two tied together lemurs manage to escape over the giant hole, and he crash lands, and then they're all reunited, and we see them take a snapshot, which involves slamming a giant rock into their face. And then another joke, the Runk character says, can we do that again? I think I blinked. So funny. And the movie ends. I don't know how they're going to repopulate the Earth, because only one of them is not blood related. Again, I'm not going to think about that because the insinuations are something I don't want to talk about ever. And that's the film. Not bad. It's getting another sequel. It's supposed to release in 2020, but with the coronavirus and everything happening, it'll probably get pushed to 2021. Either way, as with every Nicolas Cage movie, I will see it in theaters day of. And that's it. That's The Croods 2013. The film, I'd give a 7 out of 10. Nicolas Cage performance, I'll give an 8 out of 10. Eep's looks, I'd give it a 0 out of 10. They're horrific, they're terrible, and they should never have been put to film. I don't know why it made it past so many people, but all I can hope for is that she is dead or completely changed in the second movie. And that's it for this episode of the Ups and Downs of Nicolas Cage. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to give it a 5 stars on the iTunes store or share with your friends and families, I'm available anywhere you can find podcasts. If you want to stay up to date on them, follow my Instagram page at Ups and Downs of Nicolas Cage or Twitter at the Ups and Downs 4. That's it. Again, thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day.